The 6th century in Europe is often called the Dark Ages. This term suggests a time of decline and ignorance, a period where civilization took a step back. People say it was a barbaric time filled with violence and chaos. The word barbaric itself conjures images of wild, uncivilized tribes clashing in endless battles, but that's not really true. This period was far more complex and nuanced than the term Dark Ages suggests. There were scholars, thinkers, and monks preserving knowledge and creating new ideas. That idea comes from how the Romans saw things. To them, anything outside their empire was considered inferior and uncivilized. Romans thought their culture was the best. They believed their way of life was the pinnacle of human achievement, and anything different was seen as a step backward. Anyone different was less advanced. This view ignored the rich and diverse cultures that existed beyond the Roman borders. This simple view ignores the amazing changes happening. Europe was changing. New trade routes were being established and new forms of governance were emerging. Old ways were disappearing and new ways were appearing. This wasn't just chaos, it was a time of transformation where old traditions were being replaced by innovative practices. It was a time of creativity and change. Art, music, and technology were evolving, laying the groundwork for future advancements. To understand this time, we need to look past simple labels. We must delve into the lives of the people who lived through it, understanding their daily struggles and triumphs. We need to see the different groups of people, their struggles and their wins. Only by doing so can we appreciate the complexity of this era. Only then can we see the 6th century for what it was, a big turning point in European history. It was a period of significant change that set the stage for the future of Europe. The Roman Empire was huge and strong for centuries. It was a beacon of civilization, with its vast territories stretching across Europe, North Africa, and the Middle East. The empire was known for its impressive architecture, advanced engineering, and a powerful military that kept its borders secure. But by the 5th century, it was having problems. The once thriving cities began to show signs of decay, and the bustling streets grew eerily quiet. The grandeur of Rome was fading, and the empire's strength was waning. The Western Roman Empire, the one in the west, faced lots of challenges. It was constantly under threat from both internal strife and external invasions. The vastness of the empire made it difficult to manage and defend effectively. Its leaders couldn't control all the land. Political instability and corruption plagued the government, making it hard to maintain order. The once unified empire was now fragmented, with different regions vying for power. The economy got weak, and people didn't trust the government. Trade routes were disrupted, and inflation soared. The common people suffered as taxes increased and public services declined. Also, groups from outside the empire, who the Romans called barbarians, started pushing on its borders. These tribes, including the Visigoths, Vandals, and Huns, saw the weakening empire as an opportunity. These groups were moving, looking for new places to live. They were driven by a combination of factors, including climate change, population pressure, and the lure of the rich Roman lands. They fought with the Roman army, which was already spread too thin. The Roman legions, once invincible, were now struggling to fend off multiple threats on different fronts. In 410 CE, the Visigoths, a Germanic tribe, attacked and looted Rome. This event was a significant blow to the empire, symbolizing the vulnerability of the once mighty city. This shocked the Roman world. The sack of Rome was a wake-up call, revealing the empire's inability to protect its heartland. It showed how weak the Western Roman Empire had become. The infrastructure was crumbling, and the morale of the people and the military was at an all-time low. The final problem came in 476 CE, when the last Roman emperor in the West was removed from power. This marked the end of an era as the Western Roman Empire ceased to exist as a political entity. This is often seen as the fall of the Western Roman Empire. The once great civilization had fallen, leaving behind a legacy that would influence the world for centuries to come. The fall of the Western Roman Empire wasn't just about losing battles. It marked the beginning of a significant transformation in Europe. It was also about people moving. Entire communities were on the move, seeking new places to settle. All across Europe, groups were migrating. They weren't just invading, they were searching for new opportunities and lands to call home. They were looking for safety and a better life. Many were fleeing from conflict, famine, or other hardships. Some of these groups were the Goths, Vandals, Huns, and many others. Each had its own unique culture and way of life. Each group had its own reasons for moving. Some sought fertile lands, while others were driven by the need to escape invaders. Some were forced out of their homes by other groups. The constant pressure from other tribes created a domino effect of migrations. Others wanted the riches of the Roman Empire. The allure of wealth and resources drew many towards the remnants of Roman civilization. These migrations changed Europe a lot. The movement of these groups led to significant shifts in power and territory. They changed who controlled the land. They mixed cultures together, leading to a rich tapestry of cultural exchanges and influences. And they created new challenges and opportunities. The blending of different peoples and traditions led to both conflict and cooperation. For example, the Franks, a Germanic tribe, eventually made a powerful kingdom in what is now France. Their rise to power was a direct result of these migrations and the new dynamics they created. It's easy to think that when the Western Roman Empire fell, Roman culture disappeared. But that's not what happened. Roman ways of life continued in many places. The Germanic tribes that took over parts of the old empire didn't destroy everything Roman. They used Roman customs and laws. They learned Latin, the Roman language, and they liked Roman art and buildings. This mix of Roman and Germanic traditions is really interesting. It shows that the fall of the Roman Empire wasn't just about destruction, it was also about cultures mixing and changing. The Christian Church was very important in keeping Roman culture alive during this changing time. By the 6th century, Christianity had spread across most of Europe. The Church provided stability when things were chaotic politically. Monasteries became centers of learning. Monks copied old texts, saving Roman knowledge. They also developed new art and architecture, mixing Roman and Christian styles. The Church helped connect the Roman past with the new medieval world. It showed that even when things change a lot, some things like faith and culture can last. With the Western Roman Empire gone and new powers appeared in Europe, Germanic tribes created kingdoms in different areas. These kingdoms often fought with each other for land and power. The Franks, led by King Clovis, were very successful. They built a large kingdom in what is now France. Clovis became a Christian, which helped him get support from the powerful church. In the east, the Byzantine Empire in Constantinople continued to do well. It kept a lot of Roman law and culture. The Byzantine Emperor Justinian even tried to take back parts of the old Western Roman Empire. The 6th century was a time of huge change in Europe. The old Roman way of life fell apart and new powers appeared. Cultures mixed and changed. From this chaotic time, the medieval world began. It's important to remember this wasn't just a dark age. It was a time of change that prepared the way for the future. New governments appeared, new cultures developed, and new ideas started. By understanding this time, we better understand the things that shaped European history. The 6th century, instead of being a dark age, shows how resilient people are, how they adapt, and how strong culture can be.